on other platform too. Right now there's 13, 14. They're coming.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So it's on Town Hall Streams. It's on the other platforms, and there's 20 something people in the audience.
I think we're good to go. Good evening again, everyone. The select board has just concluded 4.0 of our special meeting agenda and executive session. We had a motion by Selectman Dolliver to come out of executive session, and that motion was seconded by Selectman Wynn. At this time, I'd like to take a roll call vote to officially come out of executive session and back into public session. I'll start with Vice Chair John Daly. Yes, I agree. John has agreed. Next up is Selectwoman Perry.
Yes.
Selectwoman Perry has voted yes. Next up is Selectman Wynn.
Yes.
Selectman Wynn has voted yes. Selectman Dolliver.
Yes.
Selectman Dolliver has voted yes, and I'm a yes, so the motion passes 5-0. At this time, I'd like to call the board's attention to 5.0 on our special meeting agenda. That is the town manager contract amendment. We shared some of the background, and the select board has met in executive session after hearing public comment. There have been no changes to the first amendment to the employment agreement. The one that is in the select board packet is the one that we are voting on at this point in time. As I said, at this point, there's no recommended changes. Before I ask for a motion, is there any discussion that the board would like to have? Okay. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to accept and approve the first amendment to the employment agreement for the town manager, Pat Finnegan's employment contract with the town of Ogunquit. There's somebody who would like to make a motion. Motion was moved by Selectman Daly. Do we have a second? The motion was seconded by Selectman Dolliver. At this time, I'd like to open it up for any final discussion before we take a roll call vote on accepting and approving this first amendment to the town manager's employment agreement.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Wynn?
Thank you. I'm allowed to make a comment as I stated prior.
Yes.
My comment is to the public is that I'm in favor of this 6-month contract, but I'm not in agreement with the 6 months. I'm showing good faith by the town manager to give her a contract, but in my opinion, I believe it should be a lot longer than that. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn. Would anyone else like to make any comments or have any further discussion on the motion at hand?
Mr. Chair.
Selectwoman Perry?
Thank you. I would like to also add, in the same vein as Mr. Wynn, that I think a little bit more time to have in between would have been nice. I think that the 6 months will give us the amount of time it takes to get some items pieced away and completed, and I mostly feel comfortable going forward on this because, to my understanding, Pat is in agreement with what has been put down here. So that is why I'm feeling okay about that. Hopefully everybody could hear me because I have a mask on.
Thank you, Select Person. Selectman Daley,
I just want to know,
can you talk louder, please?
I just want to, I just apologize, Pat. No one should have to go 2.5 years without review, and someone shouldn't have to go wait to the last month of the contract to expire. Was part of the conversation, should have been addressed in January. So I just apologize, Pat. So dragged out 2.5 years. No, it's like we're back on track, which is great.
Thank you so much, Selectman Daley. Any other comments? Okay, I'll make my final comments before we call for a vote. I think that this contract agreement is amendment. I think this contract amendment is a time to complete the contract requirements and come full circle with the intent of the original contract, which was to provide the town manager with appropriate notice. And I'm happy that we can negotiate it. And while I understand some board members prefer a bit longer time frame, I preferred. I'm one of the members who preferred a shorter time frame because I think it's important that the town manager have feedback sooner rather than later, and that the select board gives and works with her as intended in her original contract. Any final comments by select board members? All right. So at this time, I'd like to call
Chair.
for a roll call vote.
Chair,
Oh, excuse me, and my apology. The town manager, Pat Finnegan, would like to make a statement.
You don't mind, I think I can vote over here, objective-wise. Very briefly, I want to thank the select board for your consideration as we go through this process. I would like to just correct a couple of things. I think there's an impression that I haven't had performance reviews, which I have. I had a 6-month review, a 1-year review, a 2-year review. The results of that were not shared with me because we were interrupted by COVID. My anniversary date is August 14th, which is this Friday, which is when I would be entitled to receive my 3rd performance review. I do not blame the select board for not getting those things done. This agreement is being done in good faith. And I just want that to be on the record, that the contract that expires has a provision that if the select board terminates the agreement without cause, the town shall then pay the manager 6-month severance. That would run out this Friday. I think that I want everyone to understand that just because the contract ends, my employment with the town would not end on Friday. There would still be a process to go through my continued employment. The purpose of this extension, in my view, is because I love this town. I'm very appreciative of the elected officials I've had the privilege to work with, and certainly the town employees who are by my side every single day doing wonderful things for this town, and the other citizens of Ogunquit. So I just wanted to be on the record that this 6-month extension certainly is time for the parties in good faith to negotiate an extended period of employment for the town manager. That is assuming that the town manager is going to meet the select board's expectations. We've not heard the select board's expectations, and I think it is important for the citizens of Ogunquit to know what their elected officials have for expectations for this town manager or for any successor town manager. Because when you go through a process of a 6-month review, it is well understood that that in effect is a termination notice. And I'm taking this board at its word that there will be a good faith negotiation to make sure that we can continue to provide seamless, good governance in Ogunquit. So I did not want to ask the select board in executive session regarding their intentions, but if they, we've heard from 2 of the members, if the other members wish to clarify a bit more on their intentions, for the succeeding 6 months, if this is going to involve a good faith effort to negotiate a successor contract, depending on my being able to meet your expectations as a town manager, which you would have of any successor town manager. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Beth, for your comments.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Any further discussion and or comment, or would anyone like to respond to the town manager's question?
Well, out of the next few months, we're gonna be doing our that's it. Tonight. So who, just who we feel what those are.
So Selectman Daley was saying that he's unclear because he is under the impression that the expectations are some of the conversations that are going to happen over the next. Anyone else would like to? Wow. Sorry, we had a may have not seen a plexiglass failure between Selectman Wynn and the town manager, but everyone is safe and well. Would anyone else like to make any comments and or have further discussion?
So the way I understood Pat's question was she's wondering what by the extension of 6 months, if there are intentions with that 6-month amount of time allotted by any particular board members, whereas it's been stated by some board members that this is an opportunity to move forward and figure out the next steps to move on, particularly with Pat. Is that not the same frame of mind as the entire board? That's the way I understood Pat's question, but maybe there should be more clarity for everyone.
I think the chair is going to go through his explanation of that. Okay.
Mr. Chair, my take on it was one word she used was intention. You know, it's the intention to use this 6 months to evaluate, and then in the event that we move on to a contract, an extended contract. Am I wrong? Or is that what I just said? Is that
No, it's an expression of good faith that I'm just saying that for the citizens of Ogunquit.
Okay. So I'll take this opportunity to say my point of view. Yes, this is good faith from my lens. Not with our town attorney, and knowing that the select board hadn't yet indicated to you, Pat, whether or not there was an intention or not to renew the contract. I felt like it was important to give the proper notice and follow the contract. The other thing is, as we move forward, it is my intention to make the best decisions moving forward, and part of making those decisions is conversations around performance. I had an opportunity to review your file, and you made some statements about your performance reviews. I only saw one performance review in your file from your 6 month. And so for me, I want to give the board the time that it needs to conduct a full and thorough performance review and performance discussions with you to outline any expectations and ensure that we're all on the same page moving forward, and ensure that all parties want to move together on the same page, including you. That's my personal intention. Any other comments from select board members? All right, at this time we have a motion on the floor, and that is to accept and approve the first amendment to the employment agreement for the town manager, Pat Finnegan, as with no changes. It is the amendment that was included in our board packet this evening. I'd like to take a roll call vote, and I will start with Vice Chair Selectman Daley.
Yes, approved.
Selectman Daley votes in favor. Next up, I'll turn to Select Person Perry.
Yes.
Select Person Perry has voted in favor. Next up is Selectman Wynn.
Yes.
Selectman Wynn has voted in favor. Selectman Dolliver.
Yes.
Selectman Dolliver has voted yes. And I too am a yes vote. So the motion passes 5-0. Congratulations, Pat, and congratulations to the select board and the town of Ogunquit that we here is where we're at, and it allows us the next 6 months to move forward together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Pat, for the audience, Pat has also said thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn the select board to 6.0. And are there any final comments from select board members? Hearing none, at this time, I'd like to turn the select board to 7.0. This is executive session. The select board plans to go into executive session pursuant to Maine Law Title I MRSA 405.6A for the purpose of discussion regarding personal matters relating to select board members' performance. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Selectman Dolliver. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Select Person Perry. At this time, I'll turn to a roll call vote. I will start with Vice Chair Selectman Daley.
Yes.
Selectman Daley is a yes vote. Select Person Perry.
Yes.
Select Person Perry is a yes vote. Selectman Wynn.
Yes.
Selectman Wynn is a yes vote. Selectman Dolliver.
Yes.
Selectman Dolliver is a yes vote, and I too am a yes vote. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and our next public session meeting will be on Tuesday, next Tuesday. The select board is meeting tomorrow night and plans to go into executive session, and that agenda is posted on the town website. Thank you all.